Hey guys! So in this video I want to talk a little bit about some game news, particularly focusing on some upcoming games that I am really excited to play. So there are three games or three new releases that I want to talk about. The first is Assassin's Creed 3. The second is the Mass Effect Omega DLC, which was just officially confirmed yesterday. And the third is the new Tomb Raider game coming out next year. So first, I'm going to start with Assassin's Creed 3. So I am a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I have played through all of the series, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. And soon I'm going to be doing a review, an Assassin's Creed series review video before the new release comes out. But today I just want to talk a little bit about the new release and some of the things that I'm really excited about it. So Assassin's Creed 3 comes out on October the 30th this year, just in time for Halloween. It's a brand new story, brand new character. So I'm a little sad to say goodbye to Ezio Auditore, who I really love, and I'm especially sad to say goodbye to that very lovely Italian accent. But this new game anyway is set in the 18th century during the time of the American Revolution. So I'm very excited to see the new historical backdrop. So it has a brand new character in it, and his name is Connor. And from all the things I've read, Connor, he's basically a Native American assassin. His mother is Native American and his father is British. Basically within it, Connor is working within the main American Revolution. So from what I know, you don't really support either side. You're not on the side of like the colonists that are rebelling, and you're not on the side of the British. You're kind of in the middle of it. Dealing with a different separate storyline with the American Revolution as the backdrop. So I am, from what I know, sometimes you will be taking out American colonists and soldiers, and sometimes you're going to be taking out the redcoats, taking out the British. So that should be really interesting. Another thing I'm really excited about is the new, some of the new kind of historical guest appearances. I really love history, so it's one of the reasons I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series and how they're always very historically accurate. And one of the major really cool things is the cameos of some famous historical figures. So just like in Assassin's Creed 2, where you had Leonardo da Vinci turn up and develop and create some really cool and clever gadgets and inventions for Ezio. You now also, apparently in the new Assassin's Creed 3, there's going to be the guest appearance of obviously George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and many other historical figures during this time. So I'm really excited to be able to, see that and interact with those characters. So the story and the character is brand new. A recurring character, and obviously in the game, is Desmond. And developers of Assassin's Creed 3 have promised that this is the last saga in Desmond's story, and that finally at the end of this game we are going to have a resolution to Desmond's story, and we are going to hopefully find out what is going to happen and everything. So that should be really cool. I'm hoping, from what I know, there are certain sections where you can play as Desmond. I am hoping like we'll get to see him more as using kind of assassin skills and developing as an assassin, because we found out in Assassin's Creed Revelations that he is an assassin, and that he was raised as an assassin, but that he kind of fled that life. So I am hoping that we'll be able to play as Desmond within the story, but do a little bit more with him in terms of like being an assassin. So I'm very excited about that. Another really cool new feature of the game is the new kind of combat system, which seems to be completely redeveloped. So it does seem really fun. You're now a dual wielding character. You have your obviously your pistol, and you also have a really cool like tomahawk, which just looks really cool and so much fun to use. And it does seem to be a lot more fluid, you know, within the gameplay. So I'm really excited to try the brand new combat system. And the last thing that also really excites me is the navigation. The navigation system looks fantastic. It looks really fun. I love the fact that now, obviously because the setting's different, you know, in previous Assassin's Creed games, you know, you jump and you climb up buildings, and there is still that element of it within Assassin's Creed 3, but now you're at the frontier. So you get to interact a little bit more with nature. You know, I love the fact that some of the videos show you climbing trees and jumping from branches to branches, and you know, climbing up cliffs and mountains, as well as the usual, like, you know, climbing around buildings. I also love the new system of camouflaging yourself, hiding in tall grasses. This looks really fun. Or, you know, blending yourself into a crowd. Or I love this new transition system that they have, where you can not only go over buildings, but you can like jump into windows and through windows to escape like the redcoats or anybody that's trying to chase you down. So it does look like really good, and really well developed and really fluid, and I am super excited to play Assassin's Creed 3, and I pre-ordered it, and it will be arriving hopefully on October 30th, if not a few days later. But I'm super excited to play it, so I can't wait for that. The second release I'm really excited to play as well is the new Mass Effect 3 Omega DLC. Finally! Most of the Mass Effect community have really seen this coming. I mean, especially after the kind of spoilers that were found in the Mass Effect 3 CD on the actual game. So we all were aware that this was something that was already produced and created even before the game was released, and it was apparently supposed to be originally released within the original game, but they had to maybe pull it out for development time reasons or issues, or who knows why. But basically, yes, finally, yesterday, it was officially confirmed by BioWare. The Omega DLC is coming, and it will be released. It will be out on November the 27th. From what I hear, you will be teaming up with Arya to take back Omega from Cerberus. So it will be a mission where your main enemy will be Cerberus. And from what BioWare have alluded to, there will be a new kind of enemy, new enemy force. I don't know whether within Cerberus. I think it might be the new Dragoon trooper that's been recently released in the new multiplayer DLC. And they're pretty tough, so I think maybe they'll be in it. I'm also curious whether the Collectors are going to be in it as well, because the Collectors as an enemy force have recently been released in the multiplayer. Given the fact that Omega is very close to the Omega 4 relay and the Collector homeworld and Collector base, I am wondering whether, this is purely speculation, I could be wrong, but I am wondering whether the Collectors will make an appearance, or whether it's just going to be solely focused on Cerberus. I think it would be kind of cool if both the Cerberus and the Collectors were in the DLC. But, you know, that remains to be seen. Definitely the Collectors, the Cerberus will be there. Whether the Collectors, we'll see. But the other thing I'm super excited to is to have more Arya in the DLC. Arya Talok. I really love her. She's a great character and she's so much fun. So I am very excited to interact more with her, to talk to her more, and to help her take back Omega. I think it would be really, they haven't released any information about this, but I'm really hoping that Arya becomes a playable squad mate, because I just think that would be awesome. And she's probably going to have some really cool powers and cool abilities, maybe re-evil, you know, something really evil and really cool and really powerful, overpowered. But I don't know whether they will. We'll see. But I mean, it would be cool to have her as a teammate, but maybe they'll have something along the lines of the suicide mission where she's off playing, you know, she's off in another part of the Omega Station, and you have to open doors or provide support, or who knows. But if she is a playable squad mate, that would be fantastic. It would also be really, really cool if maybe we could get a Batarian squad mate. That also would be really, really fun. Who knows? But I am very excited to play the Omega DLC. The only thing I'm a little bit unsure of and a little bit unhappy of is the price. It's 1,200 Microsoft points. This is the most expensive DLC that BioWare has ever released. They do say it is double the size of the largest DLC they've released so far, which maybe is Leviathan. So it's double the size of Leviathan. So hopefully, I mean, it will be worth the money. I don't know whether it's a good thing to be charging so much for this particular DLC. I know a lot of the Mass Effect community are a little, you know, are still a little bit unsure about DLC, particularly given the ending. And while Leviathan was a really, you know, was a good story, a lot of people felt that like the war assets that you gained from it were really pointless, given that it didn't really change anything in the ending. So I know many people will probably be very wary or unsure about downloading the Omega DLC. As regards to myself, I don't know. I might see. I really want to buy it on the first day of release, but I might wait a little bit and just listen to some of the reviews and see whether people say, you know, it's worth the price that it is, and you know, I hope it has a lot of gameplay. I like cutscenes, I like story, but I want a lot of gameplay. And Leviathan for me didn't have nearly enough gameplay, even for 800 Microsoft points. So I'm hoping Omega will have a lot more gameplay and will have a longer gameplay. I'm hoping it will be somewhere along the quality of Lara of the Shadow Broker. For me, Lara of the Shadow Broker is still the best DLC that BioWare has ever released for the Mass Effect series. So if it's anything like Lara of the Shadow Broker, it will be a very good DLC. But either way, I will buy it at some point, and I will play it, and I will release a review of it. So November 27th, write it in your diary, Omega DLC for Mass Effect 3 is going to be released. Okay, so the third and last game that I am super excited to play is Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider game. Now, it's not set to be released until March the 5th, 2013, so it's still a while away. The developers have released some trailers for the game, but haven't really given too much away in terms of like the story and the gameplay and everything. Obviously they're still in development, but it does look like a really, really good game. So the new Tomb Raider game coming out next year is going to be a rebirth for Lara Croft, and it's going to be telling the origin story of how, you know, she became the Lara Croft that you know, that we know that is famous. How she became this tough, hardened kind of Tomb Raider. And it looks really good. And the basic story, from what I know, is Lara's ship, her research vessel, is stranded. I don't know why, but it becomes stranded and ends up getting stranded on a remote island off of the coast of Japan. And Lara is separated, I think, from her friends or the passengers, her team on the actual ship. And you know, she lands on this remote island, and basically in it, you know, she learns to survive, and she goes through, you know, lots of trials and combat and conflicts, and you know, she learns to hunt and to kill and to protect herself. And it looks really, really gripping, and it looks really like gritty, and it looks very realistic in the way that it plays. There are obviously some elements that there has to be some level of degree of, like, you know, Lara doing things that are just crazy and unreal, because of that is who Lara Croft is, and you know, she's climbing up things and jumping across and hanging, you know, off of ledges and whatnot. So I'm sure it'll have certain elements, you know, similar to the old Lara, series, but I like the fact that it does start out very, very real, and that, you know, it looks like at the beginning of the games, you know, she's just an ordinary young girl thrown into a really extreme situation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing like how the story plays out and how we see her progress, and it's going to be really cool to kind of see, you know, how she becomes a Tomb Raider. I think this is the first time that an origin story has been done for Lara Croft, and it's going to be really, really cool. The gameplay videos look really, really, really fun. You know, there's been some releases about showing her, you know, how she's wielding a bow and an arrow, which she can use as a weapon, you know, to hunt and to kill deer, and you know, she's you know, also using it to take out what I think are pirates. From the videos, it looks like maybe the island is that maybe it's inhabited by pirates or something, and that maybe, I don't know, one of her friends is kidnapped, or she has to try and rescue them, or Lara gets kidnapped. Who knows? But it does look like they're, you know, they're very deadly, and Lara, you know, has to kill in order to survive from the looks of it, and you know, and she'll progress and she'll become stronger, and you know, and yeah, it looks really, really cool. It looks really good, and I'm very excited to play it. I will definitely be pre-ordering that and playing that from March the 5th next year. So Tomb Raider, so I'll be keeping my eyes peeled, and if there's any new news on it, I'll try and get a video out to let you guys know any new information on Tomb Raider as it gets, you know, as it's released. But those are the 3 games that I'm super excited to play and will be buying when they are released, and I'm sure they'll be in future videos, and I'm hoping to also I'm intending to buy a HD capture card, and I'm planning to start some Let's Play playthrough videos of new games that I buy and that I'm going to play. So I'm sure like Assassin's Creed 3 and Mass Effect 3 Omega DLC and Tomb Raider, I'll be releasing videos showing me playing through those games. So yeah, so look forward to that, I guess. And yeah, so that's my video today. 3 new games I'm excited to play. Can't wait. Super excited. It's going to be a really, really good year for new game releases. Okay, so that's me for now. This is N7Kate signing out, and catch you guys later. Bye, guys.